G'day guys, welcome back to SuperCoach with DR. Hope you're all fit and healthy, hope you're all going well. For today's video, I thought I'd do something a little bit different. And I would actually take a quick look at the number one ranked side in SuperCoach after round one. And that is Stewart's squad. So this is not my side. I wish that I got a 25-38. Unfortunately, I didn't come close to that. But well done, Stewart. I doubt that you're watching, mate. But if you are, congratulations on a really, really good start. Before I get into things, and it will be just a quick review, remember I do have the Rate My Team video up that I posted either yesterday or the day before, so there's been lots of teams posted so far. I give feedback on all teams, other people do as well from the community, which has been much appreciated, so thank you to anyone that's done that. Don't be embarrassed to put down your side. Remember, if you've had a bit of a poor start, it's all good. You can catch up. I remember when I had my best ever overall season result, and that was a 33rd overall back in 2014. Remember after the first round, I was ranked at about 30,000. So I was able to come back right up to number 33 in total. So from 30,000, that was a fair jump. So don't lose hope if you've had a bad round one. And you do have 5 trades, keep in mind as well. So a 25-38, a massive score for round one. We tend to see those sort of scores towards the end of the season when we've got close to full primo sides. But the thing with the sides that are right up there after the first round is that they've usually got some PODs, some unique picks, certainly not cookie cutter sides. But after the first round as well, they can tend to taper off a little bit, and the rest of the pack can catch up. So Stuart, congratulations, mate. There's some things that I do like about this side, and there's some things that I don't necessarily like about this side, and I'm a little bit worried about it. So I'll go through that now and give some of my thoughts about it. So in the back line, we've got Hearn, Laird, Doherty as your 3 premiums, or Doherty being a fallen premium, Lukosius, Noble, Brander, Zerk, Thatcher, and Gould. So Laird loved the pick, Doherty loved the pick, Noble yes, Brander yes, Zerk, Thatcher, everyone had him. And Gould obviously didn't play in round one, but hoping that he can get some games into him this season. So I suppose the 2 interesting picks there are your Shannon Hearn and Jack Lukosius. So I was going nowhere near Hearn in the pre-season, mainly due to his age. He was injured towards the later stages of last year and really burnt me because I got him in late. I didn't get him in early in the season when he was producing those really, really consistent and, really nice scores. So he did burn me a little bit. At that price, 562, he's getting older now. He'd definitely be in his 30s. He was coming off career best season last year. I was really worried that he could replicate that form, but he said, bugger you, DR, in round one. Come out with a massive 152. So you'd be loving it after the first round, but I'd be a little bit concerned for the rest of the season, mainly due to durability and his age. Lukosius is the other interesting one there. So, well, he doubled Robertson's score, who I've got at a similar price. I think he's about 14 grand cheaper, Lukosius, and comes with the defensive forward pick. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. It's just, I suppose, an average sort of a pick. He may make some money. I'm not sure if he has a really super coach friendly role back down there. Does he play the loose man? Does he take some of those kickouts? I've never taken great notice of Jack Lukosius. I know he's a really talented kid and a really early draft pick and got really high hopes for him in the future. But yeah, I'm not too sure about that pick, but obviously not terrible. Into the midfield, we've got the 2 Uber Primos there in Neil and Cripps. Neil smashed it. Cripps, terrific. I got both of those blokes in my side. But this is where I think we get a little bit dicey. So you've got Rockcliffe, Wingard, and Smith as your M3 to M5. Typically, most sides will have either 2 to 3 Uber premiums there. So, for example, you might have a Dangerfield, Fife, and an Oliver, for example. Or some teams only have 2 and then might have one of those mid-pricey picks, such as a Jack Viney. And that's another thing I was surprised about. I was really expecting to see a Jack Viney in this midfield, producing that massive score, but it didn't go with Viney. And also, if you think back to the back line as well, no Jeremy Howe. So I was a little bit surprised when I first looked at this side from Stewart here. But that does really have me concerned, that midfield there. Look, it worked out after 1 round. Do I hate the picks? I love the Smith pick, but I like him in your forward line, obviously. The Wingard pick, I was never really keen on Wingard and didn't really consider him all pre-season. He's at a decent price, had a great round 1, so he'll make some early cash. No problem with that pick, but again, he needs to be in the forward line for mine. Tommy Rockcliffe, though, is an absolute burn man for me, so Look, I do have a real soft spot for him, obviously being an ex-captain at the Lions. But and look, we know his history. Was it? Geez, how long ago now? Was it 4, 5 years ago now? He was almost competing with Gary Ablett for the number one scorer in Supercoach. So in the past, he's been an absolute scoring pig when it comes to Supercoach, but during his time at Port, he's been very inconsistent. He's been injured, different roles that he's had to play here and there, unlike at the Lions. So yeah, do not like the Tom Rockcliffe pick, and at 115 for the first round, yep, terrific. And look, again, he may prove me wrong, but yeah, I'm really worried about that pick, about his durability, consistency. So, yeah, given the fact that there's Rockcliffe, Wingard, and Smith at M3 to M5, that concerns me, and I think it's a little bit dicey there. The rookies, you got Brown, Pickett, and McInerney, Bonner, Robertson, Buderick. So the glaring omission there is obviously Matty Rowell. Went with Bonner over Rowell. So if I was in Stewart's position, that would be basically the first trade I would make. I'd get Bonner out, and I'd certainly get Rowell in. I think he's definitely worth the price that you're paying. It's almost basically a straight swap there anyway, so that makes sense for me. The rookies there, pretty standard. Most of us have got those sort of blokes. Into the rucks, Grundy, who most teams have got at R1, you had to go with him. I think if you haven't got Brodie Grundy, I think you're in a little bit of trouble. And Sammy Jacobs has worked out really, really well after round one. Like Naismith, I wouldn't be counting on my chickens just yet because I must admit I didn't see a 134 coming really at any stage of the season from Jacobs, but he's got there in round one. He's definitely an upgrade on your Mumford up there, but he's coming to the twilight of his career. Great score for now, and who knows, he may have just another lease on life, and good luck to any Jacobs owners. It's been a terrific pick, obviously, after round one. Into the forward line, Whitfield, Martin, and Heaney. Well, these were actually the three guys that I'd locked in for about the first month when the team picker came out, but I only ended up going with Dusty out of the trio there. I'm still really, really keen on all three of these, not so much Heaney, for a couple of reasons. The initial reason why I got off him in the preseason was when he broke his thumb. I thought I don't want him going in injured. I know it's not a major injury, and he can get over a thumb, and it doesn't affect your running or your fitness, obviously. But I thought it might affect his touch a little bit. But yeah, obviously with a 152, didn't affect his touch too much. But given the fact that Buddy's out now, I think he'll be spending more time forward. Like all super coaches, I just want this bloke playing full-time midfield, and then I'd select him 100%. But yeah, 152, terrific after that round. I didn't go with Whitfield because I ended up going with more of a mid-pricey forward line options like your Segler, for example. And look, love the pick still. Not a terrible pick whatsoever. Big fan of Whitfield in the forward line. I'll definitely need to get him at some stage in the season, sooner rather than later, but I just couldn't afford him in the end. Greenwood. Well, I got put off in his second Marsh Series game, but he was certainly someone that I was having a look at. A, sort of a premium at Gold Coast does worry me. But yeah, 116 after round one, terrific game. We know what his attributes are, and the people that selected him, like Stewart, selected him for those reasons. Obviously, contested beast. But yeah, I certainly think he can be in the top 8 forwards by the end of the year, so not a bad pick. This pick I just do not get. Stewart, I'd love if you could explain to us somehow why he selected Wallace, because I don't see a good role for Wallace. I don't see any value in his price. He's never been an elite scorer, and you're paying 454. It's not, a heap of money. But for some of the options, like your Brayshaws, for example, that you could have got in there at your 380 mark, I just do not get the pick. He's got the DPP status, which is good, but that's the only positive I can find, and it's a bit of a stretch, isn't it? As if we can only find the positives in having a DPP status. So I'd be certainly looking to trade Wallace on. What would I do? Well, there's a few different options, like your Seglers. He's probably the obvious one. But you could go all the way down to a rookie like a Stewart when he comes back, for example. Yeah, a few different options with Wallace, I suppose, at that price. You can maybe downgrade elsewhere and upgrade him. I certainly wouldn't be doing that because I'd be looking to get Wingard and Smith back into your forward line. So the way I see it, this forward line is almost complete. And I suppose another way to look at it is you take it, so you put Smith back into your forwards, Wallace into your midfield. That's a really good forward line, I think, but do not like the Wallace pick. And the rookies there, Georgiades good. Cameron may get a game because Mason Cox He's injured at the moment. I think that will only be a short-term fix unless he can play really well and possibly keep Cox out of the side and Maxi King, as many of us have as well. So yeah, what do I think about the side? Yeah, look, not too bad, but I think that midfield, yeah, it's really going to find you out, Stewart. I think not having those uber primos, sorry, at sort of your M3 to at least M4, I'd be liking it to an M5. I think that's going to be a little bit difficult. But look, 5 trades at the moment, so Stewart's obviously in front of the pack with 5 trades up his sleeve. He could make some major structural changes. The trouble with that is that it's been such a successful round one, you wouldn't want to make probably too many trades. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Stewart goes about it. I'm certainly going to be keeping a keen eye on his side and seeing how he goes in round two and what his overall rank is after another round of Supercoach. But yeah, look, I can't complain too much about this side because it's got a 25-38. Got some ballsy picks there. I think particularly someone like a Rockcliffe. And I think for some people, what this video might have done is even give you a little bit of hope because you may be looking at your own side at the moment, comparing it to this side, and going, do you know what? I reckon that my side would be competitive most weeks, if not every week, against this side. So, yeah, don't get your heads down because there's certainly some holes in this side, and it is far from the perfect side. So, thanks again, guys. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Bye.